Hey guys, welcome to another video on Inside Spurs channel. Happy Thursday evening and welcome to a video that is definitely all positive. Spurs making the Europa League final after going to the middle of absolute nowhere and going to the absolute Arctic depths of Norway and rocking out with a pretty comfortable 2-0 win, if I'm honest. We'll be talking about the game, obviously, as a whole. There's a lot of people that need credit, especially. I know it might annoy some people, but Ange deserves a pretty big amount of credit. So we'll be talking about that, but we're also going to be talking about, what that means. We're going to be talking about, obviously, the final coming up. We'll be playing Manchester United. Last time I looked, it was 1-0. I wasn't really watching Man United. I didn't really care, but I knew they were 1-0 at the time. So look, Spurs making Europa League final. You know what? More importantly, summer fruit squash is absolutely on the cards. And I only get to say this because we win. And that's always the rules that we say is we win. Subscribe if you're new. You're welcome to join us for the journey. But up the bloody Spurs. Steve, Spurs, Jake, Ray, Hawkeye, Baz, mate, how are we all? How are we all? Look, it was a game that I think, sort of talking to the others in the Discord, the first half was a little bit boring, wasn't it? And which suited us absolutely to the T. I talked in previous videos how we let them have the ball, 25, 30, 35 yards out from their own goal because, all right, cool. Oh, look at your one-touch passing. Look at this one-touch passing. Okay, great. You're not threatening the goal. And to be honest, that's what you need to do. If you were 3-1 up on the tie, I would understand, we need to press you. We didn't need to press them at all. For 45 minutes, they really just didn't bother to really come out of their own half. It was a bit weird. And do you know what? I was disappointed again by them. I'm not, I'm not going to slag them off, but I heard for weeks ahead of the first leg, and then I heard all the week between last tie and this tie, you're in for trouble in that second leg. It's going to be 4-1. It's going to be this. It's going to be that. They were rubbish. They were absolutely rubbish for what we expected. And that was massively down to Ange. That was massively down to the game plan that he went into this game with. The two ties that he went into, the two legs that he went into with, to say, we're going to let you have at the back four. We're going to set traps. You're going to fall into those traps and we're going to pounce on them. And that is what happened in the first leg. We set traps everywhere across the pitch. They fell into every single trap they could possibly imagine. We took it and we'd go up the other end and do something with it. In this game, we very much picked and choose when we decided to go. It wasn't always, but we picked and choose when we were going to do things, and we just did it. We just went and did it. I mean, we had 31% possession. We had more shots and more shots on target. They did nothing. They created next to nothing. I created more from my bedroom than they probably, than they did being in Norway. So, for the amount of people, Spurs are poor defensively. Spurs can't defend. Spurs can't do this. Spurs can't do that. Pick up your comments. There's a bin in my room. There's a bin over there. Throw them in that bin. I don't want to hear about it. Talking about Christian Romero. Is Christian Romero a good defender? I don't know. Christian Romero looked absolutely money today, did he not? Atletico must have been fuming because, his price tag just went up that little bit more. Mickey van der Ven, solid as anything. And I talked massively before this game that when you can give that back four a little bit of rest, that's a really good back four. I'm including, obviously, Mickey. I'm including Romero, but I'm including Destiny and I'm including Porro because Destiny was magnificent, defensively sound as anything. Over the last 4 Europa League ties, Destiny might have been our best player. I was told for a while, by the way, Spence is better than Destiny Doggy. Well, that's aged absolutely horrifically. We're just starting to see now Destiny Doggy starting to hit his form again, starting to hit his stride, have his fitness back. And oh, lo and behold, he's actually a really good left back. I forgot about that. But I also talked about Pedro Porro. You give Pedro Porro that little bit of rest because he's played an absolute mountain of football this season. If you can give him that little bit of rest, you're going to see a really great performance out of him. And what happened today? He took the set piece for the Romero head for the Solanke tap in, and he scores the second. He was brilliant in the first leg. He was brilliant in the second leg. That back four was magnificent. Both legs, they were magnificent. The midfield three, look, people obviously a bit worried about Kulu. I'm not worried about Kulu personally. He's getting more and more minutes into his leg. I'm not expecting to see him at the weekend. I think it's Palace who we're playing. I don't know who the hell we're playing. Whoever it is you're playing, look, enjoy the 3 points because we're not going to care about them. I'm going to be real. We're not going to be playing any of those. But any of those 11 that's playing there, I probably don't want to see any of them, if I'm honest, in the nicest way possible. I don't want to see any of them. But I think Kulu will get better. I'm not panicking about him. But the other two in midfield, fair bloody play to those two. They were magnificent, Basuma and Bentancur. I don't know if I even saw them lose a duel. You know, it was one of those sort of games. You know, Basuma always clearing up, always getting in the way. Bentancur's press. Bentancur, it was those sort of games that Bentancur switched on. There's a run. You if you play that ball, I'm sweeping this up. And he did it every single time, and he was magnificent. They were both brilliant, absolutely both brilliant today, Basuma and Bentancur, and deserve many, many flowers. The front three worked very hard. You know, I think people going, oh, Richie didn't play well and Jono didn't play well. It's like, actually, they were doing a job. You know, if you're peltering any of those players today, just get out, be a happy human for once in your life, go touch some grass, whatever, get some fresh air, whatever it is. They did a job today. They did an absolute job today. Solanke's obviously scored. Solanke could not have ran more if he tried. He got his goal, which happy for him, obviously. It was, it wasn't Porro, sorry, for the corner, was it? It was Tell. I think it was Tell for the corner. Obviously, good to see Matisse, who, look, I think as long as he's not hating us by the summer, he'll be here next year, in my opinion. And I think there's a player there, and I'm intrigued by him a lot. And look, do you know what? Richie did a job, great hold up play, 1 fouls, and they pressed really well. And do you know what? That's all I can hope for. They pressed well and they worked hard today. The game today was about making it painful, and we did that. But look, I've missed some comments. I will read a few of yours. I will give a shout out to Lucas, Coventry City fan. He was here when we played them earlier on this season before I went on holiday, actually. Lucas, hope you well, my friend. Hope you well. Old Frankie boy looked pretty good for you guys, didn't he? Look, there's a few of you obviously, talking about Matters and you're talking about Sonny. There's a few Ange Forevers, a few Ange in comments there. And do you know what? Ange deserves a ton of credit today. I was told by Bodo Glimt fans, we cooked Ange when he was at Celtic. Okay, fine. That's a few years ago, regardless. It's also Celtic. And there's no disrespect to Celtic. We're Tottenham. You are talking about a team in another tier or two above them. So, okay, great. You beat Celtic. Well done, boys. We've got World Cup winning defenders. We've got the quickest centre half in world football. We might have, in terms of fullbacks, the best fullback pairing potentially in the Premier League or close to it. So, okay, cool. Whoa. No, in all honesty, they've obviously done magnificently well to get to the semi-final. Bodo Glimt beat a lot of good teams along the way. Like I said, beating Porto and Braga and so on and so forth. They did well this season, so fair play to them. But we move on. Those players today, absolutely well done for them. They deserved it massively. Now, obviously, we don't play now in the. Sorry, the final is not next Wednesday. It's the Wednesday after. It's the 21st. So we won't play in this final for another couple of weeks. Now, look, I would expect to see some of these players potentially. Ooh, let me pull up those fixtures, actually. Hang on. Hang on. Cool. Right. So you got Crystal Palace on Sunday, Aston Villa away on the Friday. Now, right, okay, let's think about this. You may see some of them Sunday because obviously it's quite a long time between games. We don't want them to be completely rusty. You may see a few of them. You may see a few of them Sunday. I would not want to see any of them on the Friday before, which I don't think we will, by the way. I think they'll treat it the way they did last time. You know, when we had Forest, we played a few of the first teamers against Forest, and then against Liverpool, none of them played. It would be something similar, in my opinion. Something similar. God, all the bloody legends are in here tonight. Do you know what? The vibes are incredible. The vibes are incredible tonight. I was saying in the Discord, I was so excited to jump on a live with you guys because I knew the vibes were going to be incredible. No, not in world football, Brian. Those two PSG fullbacks are incredible. I'll give them that one. I'll give them that one. Just how hype, patient, deliberate, and Ange. Yeah, look, Ange was brilliant. Ange was brilliant today. He can look at the floor and keep his hand in the pockets as much as he wants if we win that game in 2 weeks' time. He can just say the word mate to me over and over and over, and I'll be fine with it. I won't have any issues. I can ask him a real question, and all he has to go is, mate. I'll go, yeah, fair enough, Ange. Not a problem. But yeah, look, even Ange Alters will give him some credit today. You would hope. He deserves it. He was brilliant. He was absolute money today. So as much as the players deserves credit, he deserves credit as well. He changed up the system, and he caused Bodo Glimt all sorts of issues because I think they were like, well, Spurs' press was really rubbish. Yeah, we weren't trying, lad. If we tried, you'd know about it. We weren't trying. Look at your little one-touch pass in 30 yards out from your own goal. Enjoy it there. Enjoy the ball there. You threw one down on the tie, so you enjoy having the ball there because it's going absolutely nowhere. And every time they seem to come forward, it was like, oh, cheers, cool. Right, we'll take that back off you and we're going to counter on you now. You know, so thanks for getting me through. That's all right, Graham. You're more than welcome. Guess plastic pitch wasn't equaliser. People wanted to make it. Absolutely. Man of the match, Ange's pockets. Levy better open his eyes and see what we can truly do. Well, look, he better look at Christian Romero today and go, I cannot let that man leave this club. He is too good. Discord link. Yeah, if you want to join Discord, yeah, you're more than welcome to. We know the rules of the Discord. There's only one rule. And you kind of just have to respect. Well, you have to respect Teddy because he created it. He's the founder. But you got to respect Jazz because they run it. All right. I'm just the face of it. I don't do anything for it. It's all Jazz. All right. But how are we all feeling? Right. I want you today. You watching this, if I'm not live, please comment down below. But if you are live and watch this, I would love for you all just tell me who your man of the match was. Just really quickly. You can give me as to why, but if you just hit me with a name, that's more than welcome. Polly, absolute legend. Polly is proper OG. Polly was the one person who was like, hey, don't go for Tony, go for Slanky. Just saying. Just saying. For me, if I had to give an absolute man of the match today, Pedro Porro probably would be it. Obviously, the goal seals it for me. But if it wasn't for the goal, Suma or Romero gives me that vibe. Yeah, that would be my vibe. That would be my vibe. Who we got? Right. Ange is the first Australian manager to get to a final of UEFA European competition, and he's more than deserving of it for today. We've got Bentancur, Romero, the team, Romero, Porro, MS, mate. Thank you very much. Bentancur, Porro, Lucas joined the Discord. Absolute bloody legend. I'll respond to that in a second. I can't give a single. No, I know. I had to. I'm gonna try and do a singular. They all deserve a man of the match for me, but I'm gonna go for a singular. Just want to hype up that one person, and Porro was my guy. We got Porro, Romero, Porro. I think it was Ange. Ange is he can't. He could win man of the match. Yeah, we could give it Ange. Ange is fine to give it to. Yeah, a doggy Porro, Biss. Yeah, I think we're all quite in agreement in terms of Caption Grandma. How you been, mate? How you been? Romero. Miss K reckons Romero. Where's the double thumbs up? There we go. There we go. Double thumbs up. The MacBook has not ever been so good. Absolutely cozy. The Poro Cross, Poras Edgit, Stream of the Year, Andy from Inside Spurs. Oh, we love to see it. No, you can think it like people can be Ange out, and I respect it, but like no one will be talking Ange out tonight. Everyone will go, that man deserves his flowers for tonight. I cannot wait to hear Ange's presser tonight, by the way. I cannot wait. But look, all in all, what a brilliant performance. Now, Spurs obviously play Sunday. We play Crystal Palace. And then, hey, lo and behold, a schedule change for us and a rescheduling with Aston Villa away being the Friday before. So obviously Manchester United play that same Friday. We've now lined up. So our change will be there. So Friday evening, Spurs will play Aston Villa. And then obviously the following Wednesday is the final. The second final in a matter of 6 years. Often that happens. You got to. It's like watching a team batter another team, but not taking their chances. At some point, it might come to bite you in the backside if you don't take your chances. We've got to win one of these. Got to win one of these. But look, in reality, for the next two games, I would expect to see maybe 15, 20, half an hour from certain first teamers. I wouldn't expect to see tons of football from them. I don't foresee Manchester United playing, under 18s for the next two games. I'd expect to still see them get some minutes into some first teamers if possible. Like Mason Mount, they'll try and get some more minutes into him. I know he scored today to make it 1-0. I don't know what else happened, but I know that. I would expect to see that. But in all honesty, I would expect to see more of Wilson Odegaard. I would expect to see Mikey more minutes. Pape Matar. By the way, Pape came on. Got the assist for Porro, didn't he? I was right about that one as well. I get so much wrong. I'm just going to absolutely live and die on some of those hills where I get things right. I'd expect to see Archie Gray, Jed Spence. I'd expect to see, Big Kev Danso, Ben Davies, Kinski even maybe. I expect to see, maybe some Ajayi minutes. Olusesi was on the bench as well. Maybe some Olusesi minutes. Obviously, Scarlett, I don't think was on the bench. Don't think he was. I don't think he's injured. I've not heard anything. But if he was, Will Lankshire's back. He's finished his season. He could play for Spurs if you need him to. Who else has finished up that loan spell? Could Manor Solomon play minutes if necessary? Who else could play minutes? Alfie Dorrington. I know. Actually, no. The SPL's still going. He can. Jamie Donnelly's in the playoffs. Keely's in the playoffs. Abbott's in the playoffs. Ashley Phillips. Just think about some of those loan players whose seasons are done. Maybe you never know. You never know. You might get a few minutes from them. If you're really desperate, you call back Alejo Veliz and go, look, lad, you're not even playing at Espanyol. We'll give you 10 minutes a game here and it'll be better than that, and makes my loan roundups a bit easier, I guess. But, you've always got that sort of thing. But look, looking ahead, obviously, Manchester United now in less than 2 weeks' time, it's obviously very difficult. You can only play for two teams a season. Hence why Lancashire could play for Spurs. because he's played obviously for Spurs this season. He has scored for Spurs this season as well, don't forget. But in all honesty, less than 2 weeks' time till Manchester United. Obviously, Sonny is expected to touch back for the final. That's a hell of a player to get back for a final. If he's fit, that's a hell of a player to come back for the final. He normally does quite well against Manchester United as well, actually, thinking about it. Scored from a corner this season against them. I haven't forgotten about that. But look, in all honesty, he should be back. You know, you would expect Dejan Kulusevski. The rust is continuously falling off his body. He should be better and better and better to go into it. Just thinking of who else. Is there anyone else? Bergval's done. Mada's done. Radu still not here. That'll be it. So yeah, there's no one that's going to be back for the game other than Son. So I still can't. It's a hell of a player to get back for that game. I mean, Timo Werner. Yes, Timo. Do you know what? I'd love to see Timo Werner in the Premier League at least once more. Why not? Do you know what I mean? Just why not? Just vibes. Oh, Timo. Turbo Timo. If you know the career mode videos, you know what I'm talking about. Why not? But yeah, Son should be back for the final, which would be good. I don't think he'd be back for like Aston Villa to get any minutes or anything like that. But Sonny off the bench is a trump card that Manchester United do not have that benefit. A fully fit, I don't even think he'd be fully fit, but a injury-free, he's not going to be match fully fit, but an injury-free Heung-Min Son, they do not have that. I'm very confident in how good Heung-Min Son is. We've beaten them 3 times this season, by the way. It's always difficult to beat a team 4 times, and they have European pedigree. Let's not knock them, okay? They have European pedigree. Obviously, they've won Champions Leagues, and they've won them this millennium. One of them. The other one was just before the millennium. But they've won FA Cups recently. You know, they've won Premier Leagues and League Cups and all sorts this millennium. In my opinion, we were the favourites to win this tournament before it started. They probably are on paper the favourites to win, by the way, because of history. But if we play anything like the way we did at Old Trafford earlier on this season, we will win the final. We were so good in that game. And I know it was 1-0 and then there was a send-off. No, God, no. We were kicking lumps out of them. We were incredible and they were naff that day. Even with 11 men, they still would have got beat by multiple. Yes, Maddison won't be back. And yes, Bergval won't be back. And yes, Radu won't be back. Let's not count Radu out here. We you know, Radu, why not? By the way, 9 goal contributions for Solanke in the Europa League this season. That's not too bad. But in all honesty, you turn up the way you did in that first game, you win. I mean, hell, they had a pretty strong team against us when we had Archie Gray at centre back and we kept a clean sheet. I think it was the clean sheet. And then even when even the game that was close, Fraser Forster basically scored them 2 goals. We were 3-0 up and cruising. We can beat this team. It's not, you know, me sitting here saying we can win the final shouldn't be shocking because we've beaten this team 3 times this season with, you know, 12 players out injured. And when we had a fairly fit team, it was very comfortable. You know, Romero and Mickey. I mean, Mickey running the length of the pitch and going, here's Brennan Johnson. Just literally sneeze at this ball and it will walk in itself into the goal. So look, 2 weeks, well, 13 days, but I'm just going to call it 2 weeks. Europa League final. More than deserved. We've been fantastic in the Europa League this season. We have domestically, I get it. Well, domestically in the league, I get it. Domestically in the cups, we've not actually been that bad. But in the Europa League, we have been very, very good. And I will continuously hold and hang my hat on. When we talk about Europa League football, I talk with confidence that we are good in Europa League. I've seen us win comfortably, playing sexy football. I've seen us actually dig in and win. We did it away at Frankfurt. We've done it away at Bodo Glimt, and we kept a clean sheet in both games. Won both by a total of 3-0, but we kept 2 clean sheets in that time. We've conceded 2 goals in the last 4 Europa League games. One was a deflection in the Bodo Glimt one, and the other one's an outrageous finish, to be fair. I'm not going to knock Ekatike, but in reality, in the knockouts, we've conceded, 4 goals? We conceded one against... conceded 1, 2, 1 in the last round, 1 in this round. Yeah, 4. We had 4 in that time. 4 and 6, that'll work. Clean sheets, that'll work. Vic, solid. Kuti and Mickey, Rolls Royces. Those 2 fullbacks, brilliant. And I've seen those 2 fullbacks, by the way, deal with those Manchester United wingers. Alejandro Garnacho is literally in hell anytime that he goes near Destiny Doggy. Hell. So I say that and say we should be sitting here going, we can win that final. Shouldn't be going into that game going, oh, no, it's Man United. Oh, we shouldn't be thinking like that. They won't be thinking, oh, it's Spurs in the final. This is a cruise. No, they'll be going, we've lost 3 times Spurs this season. Like, we need to step up. They've had our number 3 times. But we also shouldn't allow complacency to come in. We should sit there and go, hey, beating a team 4 times, it's not like you're beating, a League Two side. You're not playing George Abbott's Notts County 4 times. You need to look at it as it's Manchester United. They're no mugs, especially in finals. They're no mugs. Look at them last year. But turn up and do your job. You did it 3 times this season against them. You turned up, you did your job, and you won. That's the way I look at it at Manchester United. Look, obviously they're going to be, resting their players a little bit, and they're going to be obviously playing a lot of youngsters and things like that leading into that final. Just want to have a quick look actually at Man United's bench because I just want to have a look. Oh, they won 4-1, did they? That must have been Athletic Bilbao putting 10 men up front and then just having counter attacks. Yeah, I mean, the stats don't show that Man United dominated that game whatsoever. On the bench, here we go. So Luke Shaw's back. Mason Mount's back. And Diallo's back. That bench is naff, isn't it? Good Lord. Mainu, Diallo, Mount, Shaw, Ericsson. So they started with Anana, Lindelof. Oh my God, Lindelof. Whoever plays left wing must be going, I've got a hell of a chance here. Ironically, James Maddison would have played in that role, and James Maddison would have torn Lindelof limb for limb. But no, they played Lindelof, Maguire, Yoro, Dorgu and Mazraoui, Ugarte and Casemiro, Garnacho, Fernandez, and Højlund. Okay, yeah. I think we win the final. Like Steve said, we won 4-3 with 12 players injured. And that is us gifting them goals as well. We were 3-0 up and cruising in that game. And Forster scored them 2 goals. If we had Brandon Austin playing that game, we're still 3-0 and cruising. I think we win that final. I do. Obviously, we've got a long time to wait until then. You're like, I'm not going to be thinking about that final now for a little while. We've obviously got Sunday. We've got Palace at the weekend. Martin's here. Bloody hell, Martin! Cheers to you, absolute legend, OG of the channel. No, we've got obviously Palace at the weekend. You got Villa the following weekend. Villa, like, other than obviously for the fans that have maybe had to change their plans, on surface level, Villa must be absolutely buzzing about us making the final, because now we're not going to play any starters. They'll win that game 3-0 and just cruise. And we'll go, all right, like, have at it, boys. But look, the way we have looked at the way we've looked at these games on this channel. If you are new, the way we've looked at these games, like in between the Bodo Glimt games or the Frankfurt games or the games that follow them, it's a really great opportunity for players who haven't had a ton of minutes to get minutes, or it's a great opportunity to get fitness into players. Like I was talking about Big Kev Danso, he's getting more minutes, he's getting fitter. It's a great opportunity for players like Pape Matar and Wilson Odebear and Matisse Tell. And the beauty is that only adds to the pot. Richarlison was a big one. Scored a couple of, scored a couple of goals. You know, he's contributed, obviously, in the first leg. All of these players have made a huge impact on the rest of these guys who are in form. You know, you think about Mickey and Kuti and all those guys. You're adding in players with self-confidence, which in turn grows and grows and grows through the group. If you've got 11 players of confidence and you add in another 4 because they've had minutes on their own and they've scored or assisted, even if they've not won, but they've scored and assisted, you've now got 15, 16 players that are confident, who are in a bit of momentum, and that is crucial. So look, the way I look at it, Wilson Odebear, Matisse Tell, even Richie. Richie probably will get more minutes between now and that final. Mikey Moore, Pape Matar, Archie Gray, Jed Spence, all of them getting more and more minutes. They may be needed on that game against Manchester United. You never know. And if so, I want them coming in with a bit of an oomph, a bit of momentum, a bit of positivity, So there we go, Andy, 2-0-ish. And I won't give a scoreline prediction just yet. It's a bit early. I have to think about it. I'm noticing now when we win, we'll play PSG. When they win in the final in the Super Cup next season, will be a good game to see. Job's not finished, though. Just worry about the Europa League final, mate. That's all we've got to worry about. Not worried about any Super Cups or anything like that. Bilbao, baby. Callum Roach. Cheers, my friend. Sonny Smile, while finally holding a trophy, sounds pretty good to me. Just one more game. Just one more game. Got to deal with 2 games before that, though. Let's. Hey, we enjoy it tonight. Back on the horse tomorrow because we've got Palace at the weekend. We may not be caring much about our Premier League campaign, but we've still got football to play, and it's still an opportunity to build some momentum for some players. Got to remember that. We're doing this. Are you in? I'm in. I'm in. I'm in. Asked him. He's in. Asked him, and he was like, "I'm going on the Logan Paul podcast," and I was like, "Well, okay, Tom. God." 4-1 Spurs in the final. Well, let's hold our horses there a little bit, Mr. K. Come on. But look, absolutely buzzing from today. Absolutely brilliant performance. Deserved it. Fantastic. All the adjectives and description words that you can ever think of to describe a good, positive thing. That was tonight. And we didn't turn into Spursy, which is always nice as well. Hey? Cheers to Spursy. Look, enjoy the rest of your evenings. Please go enjoy the rest of your evenings. Steve, have a great day at work, my friend. I know it's obviously very early in the morning for you, but please enjoy the rest of your mornings, your afternoons, your evenings, wherever you are in the world. Please look after yourselves. Please enjoy it today. We don't get to enjoy much as Spurs fans, Please enjoy this day of yours. We then get on the horse. We've got the preview to do for Palace tomorrow. We'll be talking about that. But please enjoy it. You deserve it. Don't get to enjoy much as Spurs fans. You deserve it. Back tomorrow to talk even more about Spurs. Take care, everyone. Look after yourselves. Peace.